Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or hello if you're new. Sorry for the angle. I just feel like I want to sit and relax while talking about this subject, which is basically all about how I stopped my breast milk from coming in. And I have some clips that I'm going to insert of the process and vlogging of it. And it is painful and hard to watch probably, but it's very raw and very real. I just want to be honest with you guys about it, because I mean, every woman goes through this that has had a baby, whether they decided to stop breastfeeding or didn't even breastfeed at all after birth. Either way, the majority of women always get their milk in and have to go through some kind of process like this. By no means am I an expert on how to do this kind of thing, but I just wanted to share my story and let you know that you're not alone. And if you like this kind of video, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel. I try to do my best to be honest and open with you all, but my channel is basically all about lifestyle, and I have 2 children of my own if you're new here. Again, my name is Charlotte, and my children's names are Ava, she is 3 years old, and Asher, who is 6 months old. So on to the weaning process of stopping my breast milk. I have some notes in my phone here, but my weaning from my pump, backstory, I do usually only use the pump on my right side because my my nipple is inverted a little bit on that side. On my left side is where my son would latch on to the most often, and towards the end there he was only latching on in the middle of the night or early morning. So when I decided I was going to do this, I'm kind of going off of what I've already recorded and stuff on here for the vlog portion of it. So I'll insert some of that right now, of like the day I started, and I think it went into like 2 days after I started. But yeah, I'll insert a little bit of that here. So with him latching on my left side, I can only express a very little amount of breast milk with the pump. On my right side, I get quite a lot out of the pump because he doesn't latch onto that side. I knew that I needed to stop breastfeeding and pumping because I have a toddler. We live overseas, if you don't know, and we don't have family there and not very much support either. So it's a lot of work for me. Or how I'm doing this with my first, I tried everything. I tried the whole cabbage, organic cabbage, all that stuff. Like whatever you can look up. I tried it for her, and the only thing that worked for that time was this. Let me show you this band here. So I went ahead and got this yesterday, and I pumped one last time before bed last night, and it's now like almost 10 a.m. But last night I pumped before bed like usual, and then went to bed. Was hoping that Asher, my 6-month-old, would latch on like he usually does, but the night prior to this, he did not. He didn't want to. So I was already kind of engorged, and so I was kind of fretting all of this at the same time last night. I think it was like about 10:30 last night. He woke up, and I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and try to latch him on and hope and pray that it just works, so I can just get it done and get pumped and then wrap myself real quick with my husband's help. And he decided he did not want to latch on. So I was feeling very, very discouraged, and I felt determined at the same time. I tried to latch him on a couple times, and he was just refusing. He didn't want to. He didn't act like he was hungry. He was just awake. This is where it gets kind of personal, guys. So if you don't want to hear it, please just click off. But I grabbed a couple wash rags and just started like self-expressing with my fingers. I just like basically like a baby's mouth, pinching the nipple and pressing forward and making the milk to come out itself. That's the only way I thought could work. I think I have tried that beforehand because I had engorgement before and he wouldn't latch on during the day, and I needed him to, but he wouldn't. Eventually I did start having a flow come out. It wasn't anything like a lot or anything, and I had to work really hard to get it out, but I just kept at it, and eventually the rag was pretty wet. It wasn't like soaked or anything. So then I came upstairs, grabbed John, and said, I need your help. And he watched over Asher while I was pumping. He fed Asher a bottle because he ate. He was hungry. It was just kind of a natural thing for us at this time period. And yes, he is on formula, but he also is taking my breast milk that I've already stored up in the freezer. As I'm pumping, John fed Asher. So I knew that it had worked. I could feel that the glands weren't as swollen and it was emptying out. I continued to pump until I basically wasn't getting anything out anymore. Just a couple of drops every now and then. Yeah, I just cleared out both sides of my breast as much as possible. Then I used this band to wrap all around my entire chest, and right now it is like a full 10 hours later or 12 hours later, whatever. I am being very raw with you guys, so I hope you appreciate that. I'm going to show you real quick of what it looks like. Please don't give me hate for this. It's just life. And so I'm pretty engorged on this side. This is the side that I produced the most, and then this is the other side, of course, that he latched on to the most. I don't feel painful right now. I did take some ibuprofen this morning. I'm probably due for some more if I start having some pain. I'm hoping it takes 24 hours, but I don't know. Right now I'm just toughening it out until I feel like I need to take it off or feel like it has subsided. Like pain wise, if it's too bad, I will probably take it off, and I don't know, I hope I don't have to do that, but I will let you guys know if I do. Alright, so a little update. I just pumped my right side. I didn't express everything out, but I had to pump both sides because I'm literally in pain and they're like bowling balls inside of my shirt, chest, whatever. So when I did express, I just did a little bit, just for enough for some comfort for a little while, and then I will do it again once I'm uncomfortable like I was. My husband told me that last time we did this, I did do this pumping in between of discomfort, just not until it was completely empty. Just express enough to where you're comfortable enough, and then continue to do that until you stop producing. So that's what I'm going to continue doing. And it is about 1 p.m. right now, and the last time I pumped was 11 p.m. So it's been a while, and I did a pretty good long distance in between pumping there, so I hope to continue doing that, but that was really painful. Yeah, so I'll keep you updated. Hey guys, so I'm back. It's the next day, but my last leave off was I had pumped 1 p.m. and then I had to do it again about an hour later, and then about 3.5 hours later after that I pumped again. So about 5:30 p.m. Was the last time I pumped, and then went to bed at about 9 p.m. Each time that I unwrapped, the first time I didn't notice any leaking from my breast. The second time I noticed a little bit, so I put some breast pads on underneath my wrap. Right now I have ice on my chest. And then the third time I unwrapped and rewrapped without pumping or anything. I just put a hand towel underneath the wrap to keep the leakage down when I went to bed, not knowing if I would leak or not. And I was so uncomfortable by midnight that I had to get up It is now about 7:30 in the morning. This is going into the second day, so we're kind of mid-second day right now. So as you could see, I was in a lot of pain and it was just not working out for wrapping my breast, and that was it. Like, just trying to stop it that way. So basically, this is the steps that I took next. The first day after not wrapping myself and not pumping or expressing in any way, I decided to date. So that's all I logged on my notepad. Days after that, I wasn't completely done. I still had to pump one more time. I believe it was only one more time, like 2 days after the last day that I blogged there. And that was only on my right side. And by then, my left side was completely done and seemed like it was back to normal. Then a couple days later, we left to come back to our home in Okinawa, Japan. And I didn't have any issues while traveling back. Yes, I felt a little bit of milk in there, but it was nothing like it had been, and I wasn't in discomfort. So I noticed once we got back to the house, my bra was wet on my right side. And if you don't know, if I didn't share this already, my right side only takes to the pump. That's the only way I can get milk out, other than getting in the shower and just letting it drain out. And even then, sometimes it doesn't work. I was hoping that eventually it would just drain out, and I didn't know if it was going to or not. But it ended up doing it on its own. So yes, it made a mess in my bra without me knowing, but that was it. That's all it took, and now I'm back to normal. Both sides are completely done, so I hope this helped you understand and encouraged you on your journey. Yes, it's extremely painful if you wrap. I don't know if that'll work for you or not, but for me it didn't. It just kept coming in, and I had to wean myself off of the pump basically and hand express until I stopped producing. So I guess the main tips that I'm going to tell you now is be patient with yourself. Yes, it is painful, but when it does get it really painful, like unbearable pain, go ahead and pump. Go ahead and nurse or whatever you choose to do. And just do that enough to where you are comfortable, not empty, not to the point of that kind of thing. So time yourself and try to keep yourself accountable to not pumping or nursing nearly as often as you may have been while you were producing. That helped me tremendously, and I hope this video helped you. Please give me comments down below if you have any advice or questions or concerns. I'd be glad to answer them for you or just chat with you. Go ahead and follow me on my Instagram, SharSharGA. but I hope to see you in a future video, and I will talk to you again later.